Out of all the players I've had to rank so far, I've by far had the most trouble with Jason Pierre-Paul. I mean, where do you put him? I have no idea. I can't put a finger on it. Okay, it's definitely too soon for that. But seriously, what happened to him was very, very unfortunate. I'm an Eagles fan. I know he's on the rival Giants, and but I don't wish harm upon anybody. I really don't. Okay, that's a lie. Maybe I don't think I would care less about what happens to Des Bryant or Jerry Jones too. But that's it. Okay, just just two guys in the entire league. But yeah, man. I mean, this whole fireworks accident. It really sucks. But prior to it, I had JPP ranked as my number 2 defensive end. He was an 8.8. Right up there with Cameron Wake, and now again, I have absolutely no clue where to put him. Ronnie Lott, he's the most famous player that played despite losing a finger. But this is different because you literally need your hands to play defensive end. You're playing slapsies with the offensive linemen. So is this injury going to limit JPP? And if so, how much? How's this bull rush going to be? What about the swim move? These are rushing techniques and questions we don't know the answer to right now. And that includes the Giants and JPP. He isn't expected to be there for the Giants when they start training camp. So, who knows? Obviously, he got, lost out on a lot of money as well. So, just an unfortunate situation all the way around. So, what are the traits that I look for in a 4-3 defensive end? Well, you got to be athletic, have a wide variety of moves. You got to exemplify timing and strength, athleticism, staying low, showcasing flexibility to bend and get around the edge, quickness to move laterally and dropping back in coverage, moves, having a bunch of different ones, in your arsenal to set up the tackle and get to the quarterback. Sure, you got a go-to move, but like a pitcher, you got to mix it up. You got to keep your opponent off balance. There's moves such as, the spin, the swim, the head slap, dip, the bull rush, etc. Strength, maintaining leverage, clogging running lanes, holding your own against double teams. All right, so with the injury to JPP, he's not even in the top 5. But I went with Cameron Wake as my top defensive end, despite him being 33 years old already. Some of you may know the story. He went undrafted in 2005 out of Penn State, where he played linebacker. He was signed by the New York Giants, but released and didn't resurface until 2007, when he switched over to defensive end to play for the BC Lions of the Canadian Football League. He played 2 seasons over the border, leading the league in sacks both seasons, 16 in 2007, 23 in 2008. Miami Dolphins brought him in 2009 as a 3-4 outside linebacker, and he debuted, first game he ever played, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and 4 tackles for loss. So the rest is history. He's got 63 sacks in his 93 games played with the Dolphins. Very, very impressive. 11 and a half of those sacks came last season, to go with 14 hits and 39 quarterback hurries. Again, very impressive numbers considering, how many double teams he has to fight through. He has a great bend and burst. Shoulder dip to get under the hands of a blocker is insane. Once he gets past that right tackle, he turns on the jets to get to the quarterback. Plays with great leverage. Has a non-stop motor. So really great pass rusher. His run stuffing ability, clearly not his strength. He's just 6'3", 260. So he can be moved around, but it's something he's gotten better at, definitely. Robert Quinn is number 2. Coming off a breakout 2013 campaign where he recorded a team record 19 sacks, had a very, very peculiar start to 2014. Pretty much non-existent over his first 5 games. Didn't post a sack until week 7. But he did pick up his play from there. Finished with 10.5 sacks on the year. Explosive speed rusher, possesses outstanding flexibility, natural hand, foot, and lateral quickness. Has the power, has the length, has great technique. He's your prototypical pass rusher. While many think of Quinn as a beast getting to the quarterback, he has the ability to stop the run. His quickness off the snap makes it, hard to contain him. Mario Williams, number 3 on my list, 3 years into the 6-year, $96 million contract with Buffalo. I'd say he's definitely lived up to it so far. He has all the tools. He's got the size, strength, and twitch off the ball. Freak of an athlete at 6'6", 292 pounds. He notched a career high 14.5 sacks last season. Complete package as a pass rusher. He can burn you around the edge with his speed. He's powerful enough to manhandle blockers with a bull rush, and uses his hands well to shed blocks as a run stuffer. He's strong at the point of attack, consistently holding his ground against opposing right tackles, rarely gets driven backwards. Michael Bennett checks in at number 4. This may surprise some. If you guys look at stats and look at the sack numbers, you wouldn't think this, but that's why there's more to sacks when it comes to playing defensive end. He did, however, tie for the league lead among 4-3 defensive ends with 53 hurries. He's never had more than 9 sacks in a season over 7 years of service in the league, but since Super Bowl 48 against Denver, he's taken a huge, stride forward. The reason why he doesn't get to the quarterback as more as, some may want him to, it's because of how offenses attack the Legion of Boom. Most of the time, they'll utilize a quick, short passing game, so, it makes it hard to get to the quarterback. As a pass rusher, Bennett can disrupt and get pressure as either a 3 technique or a defensive end. Very, very powerful, plays a great leverage, very quick off the snap. And, when he's motivated, which, not all the time he is, straight up unblockable at times. Also very solid against the run, uses that aforementioned quickness to get off blocks and make tackles. Ziggy Ansah is number 5, and he's a guy who's not even close to reaching his ceiling yet, and I already have him in the top 5, so... but it will be interesting to see how he handles the trenches now without Ndamukong Suh lined up next to him. But, then again, I'd say Haloti Ngata isn't a bad option either. I went 5th overall in 2013 despite not, having 2 full seasons of college experience. And even in the pros, he hasn't played a full year due to nagging injuries. But, again, can't get it out. The potential is unlimited. Like JPP, freak of an athlete, speed to get around the edge, the strength to power through a blocker, 10 sacks, 20 hits, 34 hurries during his sophomore season last year. Again, as he continues to learn the techniques. He's a natural run defender using his length and size to fight through blockers, but he did miss 10 tackles last season. I plugged JPP in at number 6, and, again, I'll say it again, I'll reiterate it. I had no idea where to put him. Again, I have no idea how he's going to fare with that hand. But there's definitely going to be an adjustment period, learning how to play without a finger, I would think. And, injuries are something that have taken a toll on JPP in prior seasons. He's had a bulky back that he's had to fight through. But, he was healthy a year ago and returned to elite status as the most balanced defensive end in the game. Equally adept at rushing the quarterback and stopping the run, putting up 12.5 sacks to go with 77 tackles. 9 of those sacks came in the last 5 games, so obviously he came on strong. By far his best season since his 16.5 sack campaign in 2011. Very, very quick first step off the snap, converts speed to power with ease as a pass rusher and a run defender, uses his awareness and length to stop the run. He's the best in the business at stopping the backside run. He can also line up as a defensive tackle, shoot the gaps to disrupt the running lane. So, overall, he's the total package. Again, we'll see how he fares with that hand without, the finger. So, that's that. Chandler Jones is number 7. He's a part-time defensive end / outside linebacker, and the Patriots use his versatility to rush from a hand down or upright position. Very quick first step. He's got, great anchor strength, very long, very athletic, but he is an inconsistent run defender. When in form, though, he does, he uses his length to his advantage to keep blockers off his chest and uses that speed that I talked about in pursuit. The fans in Minnesota are quickly forgetting about Jared Allen due to the emergence of Everson Griffen, who is number 8 on my list. He posted a career-high 12 sacks in 2014, although it took him 5 years to finally put it all together. As a pass rusher, good mix of power, length, technique, and speed. He likes to use the bull rush, plays with a very, very high motor. As a run defender, he does a great job of playing down the line, squeezing down on the cutback lanes. He's a very solid every down player, very versatile. And, he should continue to climb as the years go by on this list. But he's number 8 for now because I want to see more. I want to see him take the next step. And, like I said, it took him 5 years to finally do this. So let's see if he can keep doing it. Jerry Hughes is number 9. Everybody talks about Mario Williams, Kyle Williams, Marcel Darius on that very, very scary Buffalo defensive line. But don't sleep on Hughes. He's tallied consecutive 10-sack seasons. The speed rusher has a supremely quick get-off, showcases great flexibility when bending around the edge. He also has the lateral agility to cut across a lineman's face, can win inside, and run support. Holds his own despite being just 6'2", 254 pounds. But his speed is what he uses to his advantage, especially in pursuit and cutting off a ball carrier before they can turn that corner. Greg Hardy rounds out my top 10, and the Cowboys got some great news when earlier this month when his suspension was reduced from 10 to 4 games. So the punishments for Tom Brady and Hardy now are both 4 games, but it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, let's see. You got deflating balls, domestic violence. Just really shows how out of whack the NFL discipline system is. I have no problem with Brady's suspension. He should be gone for 4 games, but Hardy should definitely be out longer than just 4. I mean, but that's a story for a different day. While that nasty streak hasn't helped Hardy off the field, it's a huge aid on it. Only played a game last season due to another domestic violence issue, but posted 15 sacks in 2013, 11 in 2012. And that of course, was when he was with the Carolina Panthers. He's athletic, versatile, can line up anywhere on the defensive line, plays with great instincts as both a pass rusher and a run defender. Charles Johnson is 11th, Carlos Dunlap 12th, Olivier Vernon 13th, Michael Johnson 14th, Cliff Avril 15th, Robert Ayers 16th, Chris Long 17th, Rob Ninkovich 18th, William Hayes 19th, and Vic Beasley, the rookie, rounds out my top 20. A lot of interesting names here. Dunlap and Vernon are guys who often get overlooked. Dunlap has a very versatile skill set, but he doesn't do anything explosive. He uses his power to bull rush and his length to his advantage in the run game. Vernon is an athletic pass rusher, and he should benefit even more now that he has Sue lined up next to him. Johnson is a guy that's tough to pinpoint because he was great in Cincinnati for that 1 year in 2012, had 11.5 sacks, but he really hasn't done anything since. Received that lucrative, 5-year, $44 million, but was so underwhelming last season that Tampa Bay pulled the plug already after just 1 year. But now Johnson, he's back with the Bengals. Geno Atkins appears to be healthy again, so, I think that should help him. I know I probably have Johnson a lot higher than, other people do, but I've always liked his skill set, so now he's got to go out and make me look smart. Like Vernon and Dunlap, Ayers and Hayes also don't get enough publicity. Honestly, Ayers could be a lot higher. He just doesn't see the field enough. But when he does play, he's a premier pass rusher. He has both the speed and power to beat an opposing lineman. Also has the length to keep him off his body. Hayes started 9 games last season after Chris Long went down with that injury and fared extremely well against the run. And hell, he might even be better than Howie's kid. Really curious to see how Beasley does in Atlanta. I thought he was the best pure pass rusher in the draft. Falcons ranked dead last in sacks a year ago. I mean, Kroy Biermann's 4.5 sacks led the team. So that's a telltale sign right there. Some other underrated names to keep an eye on Ryan Davis at number 21, George Johnson at number 27, Demontre Moore at 28, Mario Addison at 33, and Derek Shelby at 46. So those are my defensive linemen, 4-3 defensive end rankings. And yeah, again, like I've said in prior videos, if you got a gripe with anything, if debate me below, who's your top 5, who's your top 10, let me know. So yeah, so make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Bitter Birds. I'm out of here later, and take care.